Hey, I'm Karol.
And I'm Lauren.
And we're the owners of All Strength Nashville. All Strength is a private, female-owned and operated fitness studio with a focus on overall strength and longevity of health.
Our approach to training is rooted in current evidence-based research that encourages consistency and sustainability for an overall well-balanced lifestyle.
We're redefining modern fitness by focusing on the science behind long-term health and wellness rather than quick fixes and cookie-cutter programs.
We offer full-body strength training in the form of group classes and one-on-ones, 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday.
No matter where you're at on your journey, we can help you find your fitness. You can follow us on Instagram at All Strength Nashville, and while you're there, DM us to book your first class. So if you're ready,
rediscover yourself
and redefine your fitness at All Strength Nashville.
Yo, what's going on, Nashville Fit fam? We are back on the Nashville Fit Podcast, and I'll be honest with you guys. I'm probably living every man's dream right now, surrounded by 4 women and just me. Speaking of men, this is brought to you by the Game Day Men's Health Studio. That's where we're shooting from. Sav, what's up, girl? Hey, girl. Hey.
I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah,
you can't tell by the
you're smiling like Sav is smiling more than I am. I don't know.
We've been having a good conversation already. Before we went on the air, it was, I'm excited to have you guys here because I have met Karol recently and I just love everything that they're about. And I'm so excited to get into it. But yeah, how have you been lately?
Life is good. No complaints.
Good. That's
it. That's it. That's
any details?
No.
Anything exciting coming up?
I don't know when this is going to air. So
okay,
we'll probably have some stuff.
That's fair. Yeah.
By then,
yeah, in a few months.
In a few months or something. It'll be summertime, so
I don't know the schedule.
I'll be almost finished with my cut. Yeah, just started my cut, so I'll probably be finished by the time this drops. So
nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's cool. It's a slow cut. So this is the heaviest I've ever been.
Like it.
Which was my goal. I wanted to get big, which is completely different than what we're talking about with Rosie today. Well, yes and no, because I wanted to see how big I could get.
Gotcha.
And then cut it down. So I got to 212.
Okay.
And so I'm about 207 right now. I'll probably honestly have to get back down to 203, 200. I don't want to drop. I don't want to drop below 200 though. Okay, so that's my goal, and try to keep the size. So still look 212,
sure,
but only be 200. The illusion of weight loss.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Is there a purpose to the cut, other than summer body?
Yeah, that's it. Right, completely vain. Sure. I gotta take my shirt off at some point in time this summer.
Right? That's awesome. Yeah.
So I don't wanna.
Well, I'd rather you be real and authentic, and that's a real and authentic answer.
And I like to run with my shirt off. So
I don't run with your shirt off.
100%.
As opposed to with your shirt off, run run exercise run, or
exercise.
Just run around.
No, not just. What do you think I am, Sav? Hey, next podcast I won't have a shirt on, guys. No. No, exercise run, go for my cardio, go for a run with my shirt off.
I like to do most things with my shirt off.
Do you?
Yeah, I just I would rather have no clothes on all the time.
Okay, well this took a left.
The clothes are in the way.
Yeah, this took.
I mean,
and I'll be back on the track.
The whole world could be that. We're humans, We're all beautiful. We got great bodies, all of us.
Yeah, Sav said that, not me, guys. I just want to make sure. We put that out there.
Free the nipple.
I'm not. I have no arguments. I have no arguments there.
Yeah. We went there. Okay. Anyways, let's get down to business, guys. Are you guys ready? Did we talk about the basket of debate yet?
We haven't even brought in. No, we were talking about nipples.
Oh my gosh, we were. I am unhinged today. So, guys. This is kind of how we open the podcast. We start with this thing called the basket of debate, and it's just for fun.
Who are we talking to? We haven't introduced them yet. You said guys. You said guys. This is how we right.
Okay,
hi
guys. We got to introduce guys. This is how we start. Who are the guys? Who are we talking to?
3 very, very special guests, and I would like you guys to introduce yourself and kind of give us a little brief. We'll get into Rosie's story here in a second, but I want you guys to have the chance to talk about All Strength and how you guys know each other for a second. So go ahead.
You go first.
Hey, thanks for having us on.
Yeah.
We're sharing a plyo box here. So
it's okay. Well, you know,
Love
it.
My name is Lauren, and I am one of the owners of All Strength Nashville. We're out in Cool Springs, and we are just a private training studio where we make strength training accessible to a wide range of people.
What part of Cool Springs are you in?
We're off of Seaboard Lane.
Okay.
Right across, our front door and window, looks at Costco's car wash.
Okay.
cool.
Yeah,
So
I know exactly where you are. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So we're on the corner. We share the building with a oil change place.
Yep.
And
That's
we're
really
right
convenient.
There. Oh yeah.
You have everything you need right there.
Yeah. Yes.
Costco, oil change, which I always have to go out of my way
Cracker
to get
Barrel's
those.
right there. I don't know if you guys eat Cracker Barrel, but I think Cracker Barrel is delicious.
It's a lost art.
So, huh?
Nobody talks about Cracker Barrel, but it's a beautiful place.
Well,
it's a good location right there too.
Bring back the rocking chairs and the outside chess and checkers though.
The big chess.
I haven't seen that.
Big checkers, yeah.
Yeah, so we're right there on Seaboard Lane, and we really just open our doors to anyone and everyone that wants to find fitness, wants to continue fitness, and we just make a really safe place for people to start or just show up as they are.
Love it.
That's perfect. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
You gotta talk, Karol. You're gonna have to
PT,
talk.
Aren't you? You're a physical therapist.
I am not.
No.
But thank you. But no, I'm not. Disclaimer, I am not.
She said no.
I am a sports performance specialist.
Okay.
And I have a
talk dirty to me. Yeah.
I have a big background in clinical training. So
Okay.
that's where it is. It's
I see.
partnerships with private practice or clinic-based PTs and chiropractors.
Okay.
And for the last 4 or 5 years, working with them as the hybrid bridging the gap. So not a PT, but I am one of the closest things you'll get.
But PT-ish.
Yes, as a handoff. Yeah.
Yeah, love
so
it.
I can do things that maybe will get somebody from having to go to PT. We can kind of just take care of it with our training. Or when they're finishing up or done with PT, they can continue on and try to make it a seamless transition out of PT back into whatever they are.
That's really important. I think
Yeah.
that's something I try to kind of do as a trainer I've worked in a couple of clinical settings, maybe not as many as you, but that people stop PT after a certain point.
Yeah.
Either it's too expensive or it's boring for a lot of people. People
Or
are
it's
like,
just over.
I'm done with that,
Yeah,
or it's
they get
over.
burned
You just
out.
get
There's
And then
12
they're like,
sessions, then you're
there's
like,
this
all right,
limbo
go
place,
live life.
so I think it's very important knowledge for a trainer to have is to be able to bridge that gap. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. And I assumed you were a PT because I've heard so many people have benefited from your knowledge at All Strength, and that's just word of mouth. I've just
That's
heard.
so awesome.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Not a PT, but try to incorporate as much as I can within my scope. Within my scope, when we need to refer out to a PT, we have several that have their specialties, so we'll try to help navigate somebody to go to the correct place.
Also important to know your scope of practice and
Yeah, absolutely. And then working with them, so we share people where I can call, email PTs or chiros, and we can kind of build a treatment plan or just discuss the progression of where we're trying to get them to go. And that's really important. And I found that a lot of practitioners really like that.
yeah.
They don't mind being approached and when I reach out to them. So that's been really cool to share people. And now people have kind of a wellness team. Honestly, they have a lot of people in their corner that are experts in what they do, and we can help just provide knowledge to our members and our people. So it's awesome. But really bridging the gap, a lot of people just associate it with injured athletes, which I also love to do with my athletic background. But we see a huge need in general population too. So
Absolutely.
Most people don't know that it's accessible to them if they're not an athlete, and that's what we're also trying to do too. Is you get adults that have injuries and surgeries, and they're like, well, I'm not really performing anymore, so I don't need this. You absolutely need it.
Yeah.
So again, a wide range of people that we'll work with and see that we want them to know it's accessible, and we're here for them.
I feel like fitness in general should be known to the general population, that it is more people, I'm a mobility specialist, and people are like, oh yeah, well, you're an athlete or they're an athlete. And it's
Right.
they can do that. And it's well, you can too if you want to. You know, you don't have to, but yeah, I mean, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
And Karol. Hi.
I also own All Strength with Lauren, and I do kind of an opposite side of it. My background is clinical psychology, and I came from behavior therapy into the fitness training world. And so I kind of do a lot of behavior modification with our members, along with like nutrition help and guidance. So Lauren really steers the wheel on a lot of programming and where we take it. And then I kind of steer the wheel of like people being consistent, changing their lifestyle habits, and kind of meeting them where they're at and what that looks like to be able to execute that well.
That's like literally the two things, like you have to have both, you know, in order to,
Hence why I've been successful.
Yes. Mindset and everything is so important. Like you can have brilliant programming, but if you don't have like, you know, especially like if you're working under like the supervision of coaches, like, and those coaches are not addressing both things, like, like any person can be given a program and just walk into the gym and like, okay, but it's like, how long are you going to be able to keep that up if you're not like behaviorally like accountable, if you're not mentally accountable? That's awesome.
And it's hard to hold space for both, to be able to like, to have one person try to be both of those people can be really overwhelming. Right. And then it's just kind of like, it's overwhelming for you. It's kind of overwhelming for the client, because now you're trying to maybe ask a lot that may be vague for the client, where like, you know, they get to see Lauren on certain days and they get to work with her on certain things, and then they see me and maybe we're taking a little bit of a different approach, and they get both of that kind of coaching, two totally different coaching styles, but at one gym. Yeah. Under one program.
That's amazing. Yeah. I mean, no wonder you've had so much success, and I'm really excited to dive into that. But first, we need to get to this basket of debate. Just let's have some fun with it. This is brought to you by Nutrishop, one of our sponsors. I'm going to have you guys grab one as a team. Anybody can grab it.
Okay,
and
guys.
then one for Jarrell.
She refused. She was like, I'm not touching it. I don't know.
And let's not get too heavy in the debate, guys. We can fist fight outside later, but I want to get to Rosie's story. You have to go first, because somebody got real excited when she opened hers. All right. What do we got?
This is fun. This says, should protein shakes be classified as meal replacements or desserts in disguise?
The latter.
I think
Neither.
I think it depends. Yeah, I think it all depends. I think
how much protein you got in there.
I think calories matter, right? Yeah. So there are certain things that like some protein shakes are literally meal replacements. They're marketed as meal replacements. Mm-hmm. Some proteins have a ton of sugar, so they are desserts in disguise. So trying to find that perfect balance of either post-workout recovery or fixing a hole. Like, for instance, I had a protein shake and some rice cakes on the way here. I don't know if you guys saw. It wasn't a beer, I promise. It was it was a water. It was a sparkling water. Some rice cakes, sparkling water, and a protein shake over here because the water makes me feel full. Okay, well, Saf, we'll talk to you later about that. All right.
I mean, is there?
So yeah. It's just I think for me it depends. It depends on the shake.
Yeah, I heard that. What do you guys think? Because you were very excited about that one.
I'm going to give you a behavioral perspective on it.
Okay.
No, I'm never calling a protein shake a meal replacement. I think it just carries a certain type of association. You're going to put that in a box. And so whenever I'm working nutrition, protein shakes have their time and their place. And most of the time, we're not going to use it as a meal time. We want someone to eat whole foods. So if it's a meal, I'm going to say protein, your carb, your fat, not necessarily be like, classify their protein shake. I'm taking it very literally, but like people will. There are protein shakes that say meal replacement. And then people aren't eating real food. They're eating protein shakes as their meal. And then now you just gave me a client that I have to unwork so many kind of boxes around their nutrition, and kind of like a very slippery slope you're going down when you're thinking about nutrition behaviorally and the choices that someone's making. Desserts, time and place. Protein shakes, time and place. We don't have to label we don't have to put a protein shake in the box of a meal replacement or
I
dessert.
very much so agree with that. I don't really love the idea of replacing a meal with liquid.
Right.
You know, I get that it can have enough caloric value to it, and nutritional value to it too. But again, like I also think that can put it in a box and create other things. And I think it's literally called a supplement for a reason.
Yes.
It is supposed to supplement your diet, not replace,
Yep.
you know? So that's my take. Yeah.
I lived off of protein shakes. Like when I first met them, I was just eating protein shakes and bars, which I really liked because I was just like, oh, this is really simple. And like, I'm just going to have this and blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't even taste like candy. And, you know, and that obviously got completely undone when I came to the gym and like, I wasn't even eating enough. And she was like, you're done with these. And so it was a slow, like, removal from that process. I started buying like really good high quality protein and like putting spinach and bananas and like making an actual like
Meal.
food, just liquid. Sometimes you don't have time to sit and eat.
Sure.
And so that's kind of how I like to look at them now. Or like, I don't like to eat breakfast in the mornings. So like a good shake is perfect for me just to like, get something, get me going. Or
That's
like,
great. That's a good
know.
point to make because a lot of people don't have an appetite in the morning. And I talk about that with my clients is like, you know, there's so much benefit that you can get from having something in the morning, but I understand like not wanting to force breakfast down your throat, you know, when you're not hungry. So yeah, it's a great way to introduce breakfast. And then over time you become me and you're ravenous as soon as you open your eyes.
Defining a new era in men's health. No shortcuts, just results. Get stronger and healthier by putting your health back in order at Game Day Men's Health. We offer services like testosterone replacement therapy, peptide therapy, ED, medical weight loss, and vitamin therapy. In spaces designed for men. Privacy, comfort, flat screen TVs, and zero fluff. Our in-house lab nails down your testosterone levels in 15 minutes. Get in, get treated, and get back to your passion and purpose. Call 615-420-2700 to set up your free testosterone test and consultation. Mention Nashville Fit for 10% discount off your first service. Start living your best life. Game Day Men's Health, Green Hills.
And you could eat a full Denny's Grand Slam. All right. So, do you want to go?
Go ahead.
Okay. How many times is too many when you're flexing in the mirror at the gym? I don't.
So like this is my question. First of all, why do all of you guys look at me? I feel like that was an unconscious bias.
Do you flex in the mirror?
I'm actually not a mirror flexor at the gym.
Okay.
Out of the shower,
Sure.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I was gonna say the same thing.
It actually annoys me, like, to see people like do a set and then get in the mirror and like, it's like, bro, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Whatever was there before you did those 12 reps, it's still nothing happened. I promise you. So it's actually like very, like I have to like put my head down because I work out at a gym that's very like bodybuilder forward. So it's that all day.
Yeah.
And I'm not, people see me think I'm that and I'm really not that until I'm home.
You don't need to.
What?
Because you know.
Yeah, I do. But even like, so I have a tattoo.
He's flexing right now.
I'm not. I promise I'm not. It's like, so I have a tattoo, guys. No, I have a tattoo, which is a tank. So when people see that, they think, oh, that's about, because of location and my build, things about like my muscles. It's not. It's actually my name. Like that's what my family calls me. So it's like my grandmother started calling me that because I had a big head initially. So he used to be Tank Head when I was little. They would call me Tank Head. And then it just got shortened to Tank. And so that's like an homage of my grandmother. But when people see it, they're like, oh, he's trying to show off his guns.
Cares?
But you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not a gym flexor, but you know.
Yeah.
At home. Yeah, I'm a home flexor. I'm out of the shower flexor. Like, okay, there it is. Okay, we good.
It's funny. I was actually in your neck of the woods over the weekend at Carbon, and there's a guy, like I looked over and
I saw, and you guys didn't invite me, but we'll talk about that after the podcast.
But there's like a lot of like on the weekend. I think a lot of teenagers go.
No,
and
it's every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's like 8 of them surrounding one
Every
guy,
day. Yep.
and they're all taking a picture of
Yep.
the one guy flexing his back
Yep.
and whatever. And
Yep.
I'm just over there with my kettlebell.
Like, what's happening, bro? Yeah, every day. Every day.
I'm not in Kansas anymore.
What is happening over here? Yeah.
I don't really frequent gyms that like that's going on a lot. So no judgment. I mean, like do what you do. But like if you're in someone's way, like to answer the question, like debate wise, how many times is too many? Like,
what do you say?
I mean, do whatever you want, but like, are you working out too? Like, are you getting in someone's way? Are you distracting someone from getting their workout in? Like, yeah.
So can we gym flex
at
your gym?
Gym selfies are very welcome. So instead of flexing,
not mirror flex.
I mean, if
after
you want
set?
to, I don't care as long as you post.
As long as you tag the location, cool. Just tag us. Yeah, we don't care.
Just add us. I love when people flex in the mirror, and I'm like, show it off.
Yeah,
that's what you're here for.
Yeah, like I think if you earn something and you're proud of it, absolutely. But like, if you're gonna take a million selfies and like, that's like what you're. Yeah, like I mean,
how many selfies are too many selfies?
That's the question. Yeah.
Don't look at my camera roll.
Or if we flip it, right? Because this is also a thing. Doesn't bother me as much as mirror flexing, but girls are saying arm day, but showing their butt.
What?
Right. So in my gym selfie, I'm here, and I'm like, just killed my arms today, and it's like, okay, I didn't even notice you had arms.
To that pose, but, let me tell you right now, it is difficult because it's like if you're gonna pose,
right,
and it's like you're contorting your body, like you're not really telling anyone anything. It's like it's just like.
That's perfect, Sam.
My spine hurts, but
I feel like you've done that once or twice. You know, I feel like that wasn't just a spur of the moment thing right there, Sam.
Yeah, it hurt a little bit. All right, let's get on to the last.
All right, who would win in a battle of wills? A determined fitness instructor or a woman who just washed her hair and didn't want to sweat?
Who would win?
Who would win? I know who would win if it's my client, but
not the person that doesn't want to sweat. They're gonna win.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh.
In a battle of what?
Wills.
So
it's like if you come to me and you just like, I just washed my hair, I don't want to sweat today.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, oh no, this is my workout. So
well, I feel like if you're Jarrell's client, you're gonna lose to Jarrell.
Yeah. It's not my situation.
Honestly, like I just don't think I've ever had a client like that.
No?
No.
You don't train a lot of black women?
Well, no. Well,
no,
I've trained black women, but not as many as you. Nearly, no.
No? You say?
Well, you asked me the same question.
Not black women, but just the question.
I've experienced a lot of women that come in and they just got waxed, they just got dermaplane, they just got their brows done, they just got Botox, they just got filler, they have things. Love all of that stuff. Love it for them. And but they schedule on the same day.
Yeah, don't come to me.
And
that's what I haven't run into.
I can't sweat.
You should go home.
I haven't run into that problem.
You should go home.
Like I'm like, none of my clients have shown up on a day that they've done that.
No, just don't show up. But if we're working out, we're going through the workout.
But I don't want to miss the workout.
If you show up, that's
also
happening.
Commendable. Also, but I've experienced that, and they just paid a lot of money for this stuff.
Yeah.
So I get it, but they will win every time. They just drop $700 on filler or Botox. They will win. And we just let them do what they want to do.
That's fair.
Oh, no.
They still showed up. They're still paying for the session.
They're still paying for the session.
They still
That's what I don't
out.
understand. Like if like I've had things like that done where I can't work out, and if I can't work out, I'm just not going to go work out. That's it, point blank.
Yeah, we just reschedule.
I can't sweat. Okay, don't do a workout.
Yeah,
Like,
if you just came from getting, especially Botox, like something like we were talking about hair, but if it's like Botox, fillers, wax, I don't really give a care. Personally,
nice.
you thought I caught myself. Thank you. I should get a tip for that, Terry. But those like medical things, I'll say like Botox fillers. I'll talk. Okay, come back tomorrow, Thursday, when you can sweat again. Hair, wax, no, forget it. Let's go to work. Like you'll be fine. And unless like I've had some like, hey. Right after this, I have to do a presentation, so I can't like sweat because when especially black women, their hair is turned to afros. Like I gotta go get on. I gotta be front facing, so I can't like. Okay, cool. Maybe that means we're gonna rest a little. I've had a girl bring in like her personal fan so that her edges doesn't sweat, so she's just wearing it while she's working. I was like, cool. That's what we do. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. perfect timing. Let's get into Rosie's story. So Rosie, you found these ladies at All Strength.
I did. Actually, I'm going to scoot up to
Start from the beginning. Let's start from like the very beginning of your like fitness journey.
You can bring the mic.
Well, I don't need to put it in my mouth, but
Okay.
hey.
Right. I didn't want to.
Yes. Keeping it family.
Trick, I love you. I just want you to know that, Trick.
Let's go.
So I'm one of those people that has probably been trying to lose weight their whole lives. I was a child of the 80s. I was a chubby kid. I started playing sports when I was 6, so I played baseball until I was probably 16. And just, I guess, didn't try so hard when I was younger because it's like you're growing up and you're a teenager, and I had to change schools a lot. I was the new kid a lot. Like, there are just a lot of things in my life that were very difficult socially, and that being overweight, like, did not help at all. Like, kids are horrible. And it just continued on. Like, by the time I was in high school, when I was a senior, I was almost 200 pounds. And I'm, like, 5'1" on a good day. So, like, I was a short round. It was very hard to find clothes, all of the things. And went to college. Actually, to reference your story a little bit, my parents like kept really healthy food in the house.
Wow, you really have been listening.
I have been listening.
Wow.
So, and I totally like that was a thing. So it was like in school, I'd have lunch and like I wouldn't get like a fruit snack or like something like nice. I would just have like a sandwich, an apple, and a drink. And so it was just like ingrained in my head, even when I probably wasn't even that overweight, like something is wrong with you, like you can't have these things, like whatever. So fast forward to college, I can have whatever I want. It's like I'm all the things. It's like glorious.
Wendy's and I were BFFs.
Yeah,
Wendy,
like,
man.
And most of my friends were guys, so it's like dudes eat, and so it was just like they don't care. It's like whatever, we're all eating. It's a great time, and I just kept gaining more weight, and I would get in these little like pockets where I'd lose 20 pounds for whatever reasons, like I'm broke, I can't afford to eat, or like I have a lull in my social life, whatever, lose a little weight, and it's like, okay, like this is good. And like I would kind of get on that journey for a little bit. And then the weight would come back, and it always comes back more because it's like your body has a memory or something. I swear, I could gain weight so fast. Like there were years where it was like, I felt like if I wasn't losing weight, I was gaining it constantly every single day. So
That's so relatable.
Yeah.
That's so many people have gone through that cycle.
And then it's like simple things like seatbelts and bath towels. And like, you know, there's just like things about life that slowly become difficult and you adapt to it because you don't have a choice. And for years it was like, well, I won't get to 200. Well, if I'm at 200, well, I'll never be 250. And like that just kept on happening. And so at my heaviest, I got to 302 in like 2016. And that was terrifying because I had been in 280s for a while and functioning, had a full-time job. I sit at a desk all day, which was by design because when I was younger, I was like, well, I don't want to stand on my feet all day. And I mean, it was just from the get-go as a child, I felt like very overweight and like a lost cause for all of this stuff. And like, even though I played sports, it was uncomfortable. I stopped playing when I was 17 because I was heavy, you know, I was like, I wasn't fast. I didn't want people to see me struggling. So I just stopped trying. I just stopped trying. And I was like, I'm going to try hard at all these other things because I want people to like me and I want people to want to be around me, but it's not going to be because of how I look, right? So it was like, I'm an artist. I'm a graphic designer right now, but like I just tried really hard at like all the other things, and things come pretty easily to me. I'm fortunate in that respect, but not weight loss, not physical things, like, and even just like my own mental health has just been horrible. Never went to therapy or anything like all that time, and so I would lose like pretty big amounts of weights. Like I'd lose 50 pounds. And I'd get around like 200 again. And that would feel very small to me. Whereas like just with my size and everything, that was still like, it was overweight. And I'm not going to put a number on anybody's size because like the weight loss guide thing is BS. And we all know that, you know. And I went off it for years and was like, oh, my BMI is so high. Like I'm working really hard. I'm starving myself. And it's like, it's not working. And so again, giving up for a few years, like, I'm just going to eat whatever I want. I don't care. I'm big boned. There's something wrong with my metabolism, you know, just like all of those things we tell ourselves. And so I moved to California for a couple years, loved it. The food was great, lost some weight, got back up to 260 again, and then was moving back here. This was around 2020. And had gotten down to like probably in the 200 range and was like running. I started running, which is funny because you'd see people running in like sweatshirts and it's sunny outside and I'd be like, God, you're such an asshole. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, that's not fair. Like skinny people doing anything and they're just like cold all the time.
You know, it's funny.
Like, you know,
I had those thoughts when I was overweight, you know, like people who were muscly and like, you know, I'd be like, oh, that guy's probably a douchebag, you know, like, which is like, why, who am I to assume that? Like,
no, I was awful.
And
like,
he's probably the nicest guy.
Exactly.
Like, Dreitlein probably would have been very threatening to me when I was like in that phase of my life.
Look, if you were in any kind of
Just
a
'cause you have
positive
muscles.
place, I was just like, you're not gonna like me, and like you're just no good. And so it was like
It's insecurity,
I just
yeah.
push, you know, everybody away, like family, like everybody, because that was safe. And then when I was doing good, which was something else you mentioned, I stayed away from my friends because they were out like having dinner and like doing these things, and it's like, I can't be trusted around this stuff. Like, I gotta like keep it clean, stay home, eat your salad, drink your water, you'll be fine. And it's like, I missed out on so much stuff. Like, I can't tell you how many birthday cakes that I just was like, oh, I can't have that, Grandma. You know, can't have that cake. I'm gonna gain 50 pounds overnight. And it's like, man, like.
It's funny how you can have that like disordered mindset, like at a large size and at a very underweight size too. Cause that's where I was in my eating disorder. In the very depths of it, I was like, oh no, can't be trusted to go out because I'll just get fat.
Yes.
And it's like,
yeah,
your brain is just like not with your body at all.
It's so strong. I mean, that's what's such a learning thing for me through this was like my brain and my mind and like getting that under control. It's not even so much the weight loss that's been the journey. It's been like healing myself and my mind with everything, which is where these two have been just absolutely incredible. So my grandmother passed away at the end of 2021. She was my best friend. I absolutely loved her. And so I got back up to probably like 240 pounds by 2022. And in February, I was like, okay. I was like, we're not honoring anybody. We're not honoring like what she would have wanted for you or any of this. Like, we have to get our shit together. And so I started Noom because I was like not ready to reach out to people because I just felt so much shame still and guilt and just like, what is wrong with you? Like, be a normal person. And so I started Noom, and then I got on BetterHelp and found this great therapist who encouraged me over a few months to go, like, try to go to a gym because I was like, I need to meet people. I had shed the dead weight of, like, my past. Like, I really feel like I have a past life now, which is, like, just really crazy. I look at these pictures of myself, and I'm like, I know that person really well, but, like, that doesn't feel like me anymore. And so with that was a lot of those people that just were not supportive, were toxic in ways like that I was allowing in my life because that's just the person I was back then because I didn't think I deserved anything. And so
it hurts my heart too to hear that you like felt too much shame to like go to a gym or something for help. Like, and I feel like that's a common thing, you know, it's like the shame of it is more powerful than the will to get better. And it's like, because you think you don't deserve it, it's just like, man, you said that.
I wanted to disappear.
Breaks my heart. Yeah.
I mean, even like something as simple as like going to the grocery store was like, I wanted to go at a time when nobody was really there. Because by the time I checked out, I was sweating. I was so unhealthy. I can't even imagine if I went and got blood work done or like anything like that, which I actually recently did, which was cool because I haven't done it since I was like 17. So like this whole time I've been like kind of killing myself, like with, you know, I have no idea. But anyway, I digress. So she encouraged me to go to a gym. And I go to Planet Fitness. I won't tell you the location because it wasn't a great experience. But
it doesn't matter.
I had to like, yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't say that.
Exactly.
I can't say that. I actually have a contract with Planet Fitness. I'm sorry, guys.
No
Never
judgment.
mind. I love Planet. What's my camera, Trent? I'm sorry. I love you, Planet Fitness. If you're watching,
Thanks for all
I do.
the help.
Right? Thank you for everything.
Judgment-free zone.
Judgment-free zone.
That could
Yes.
not be any.
I was gonna say all lives matter, but I don't think.
You know what's a judgment-free zone? All strength.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So he kind of just throws a price sheet at me. And I mean, I had to muster up courage. And this was after, like, at this point, I was running 3 miles a day at the gym, or at the park, not doing rest days or anything like that. Because if I took a day off, I was terrified that I had broke the sequence, completely uneducated. Knowledge is power. That's the big takeaway from this, is like, knowledge is power.
Literally.
And so that didn't work. One of our good friends, Dr. Jacob Houston of Royal Oaks Chiropractic.
All right.
Shout out to Jacob.
Right on.
I've known him a very long time. There's been years where I outweighed him considerably, and that in itself is just, that was always difficult, just because it's like I'm a female, and it's like, and he's strong, and it was fine, but like once those flipped, and like I weigh less than him now, like that feels really good. But he was like, hey, he's like, I've noticed that you've been like working really hard, and I told him about the Planet Fitness thing, and he's like, there's a gym, he said, that I go to, and he's like, you should contact this girl. She's awesome. Her name's Lauren. And he was like, if you're really serious, though. And that kind of scared me, because I thought, well, what does that mean? Like, I'm really serious.
I'm just a very serious person.
And terrifying. So,
Are you really? Or was that a joke?
No,
she is.
She is.
Really?
She
Okay.
is, yeah.
Okay.
So
We'll talk more.
A hard shell on this one.
Yeah.
So he gives me your number, and I go home, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, if you don't freaking text her or call her today, you're probably not going to do it. So I did.
The law of diminishing intent.
Yes. And also, it was kind of like,
it recently.
I felt obligated, because I got adjusted every week, and I thought, well, if I don't go, he's going to be like, so you text her? And I was like, not yet. And he's going to be like, see, I shouldn't have told you. So I was like, I just felt like positive pressure, but it was like, I was like, just do it, Rosie. I mean, at this point, like, whatever. So she answered, and like, I could tell right away. I was like, okay. I was like, this girl means business. And so I think I went 3 days later, and she put me on an assault bike, okay, with my soft, squishy self. And like for 20 minutes, I'm riding this thing. She's trying to have a conversation with me. I'm sorry, but if you're overweight, you don't want to talk to anybody like while you're trying to exercise, because you're trying to breathe. And so
I know what you were trying to do, though.
Immediate, like,
it worked.
Trying for it not to be a red flag, but I was like, oh, no.
I don't know that I would talk to you on an assault bike either. Listen,
I actually know exactly
one of
what
my
you're doing.
favorite, least favorite things is the assault. Yeah, like, listen, I'm dying. Please leave me alone,
20
lady.
minutes went by.
Zone 2, baby.
I literally said,
That's zone 8. Assault bike, I'm
You
dying.
can have a conversation. You're in a certain energy system.
I'm telling you, I can't have a conversation, man. Like,
Yeah.
talk to me after. No, I'm
at
just
a
playing.
certain speed on this.
I was going to say, how fast you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I was going slow, and it was like a lot. And I think I said at one point, I was like, I've been on this thing for 20 minutes. I was like, you're killing me.
Correct.
What we doing here?
I was like,
I thought we were talking today. What's happening?
So that was in July of 22.
The summer. Yep.
Yeah, so I'll be coming up on 2 years here, July. But yeah, I cried for like the first like 9 months, like every day. The workouts would make, because I was also going through therapy, and so I was releasing a lot like during this time.
I still cry in the gym. Like,
Oh yeah,
Very
on occasion, yeah.
therapeutic.
Yeah.
You should always cry in the gym.
but it like thankfully it felt
scenario
safe.
depending, but
You should always. Jeez, I've been doing this gym thing wrong. All right,
is she okay?
Hey, you all right over there, buddy?
Yeah.
Right, you got questions, yeah? Right, I'm just healing.
In between sets, and I need him to release.
She'd be like, go take a lap.
Right.
Go outside, take a lap.
Yeah, but at a certain point, maybe you don't need to be in the gym. But yes, no.
You ready to take your fitness and wellness journey to the next level? Look no further than Nutrishop, your ultimate destination for all things health and nutrition. Whether you're looking to build muscle, lose weight, or just live a healthier lifestyle, Nutrishop has everything you need to reach your goals. With a wide range of premium supplements, vitamins, and sports nutrition products, Nutrishop provides the fuel your body needs to perform at its best. Plus, our knowledgeable staff is always on hand to offer expert advice and personalized recommendations to help you achieve your fitness goals faster. Visit your local Nutrishop today and discover the difference premium supplements can make in your life. Nutrishop, where your health and wellness are our top priorities. Live better, feel better, Nutrishop, the official supplement store partner of Nashville Fit Magazine.
Oh, I totally, yes.
No,
been
it
there.
was sweet. I mean, And it was one-on-one at first, thank God, because I mean, I saw the other people that were in there like going to town, and it was like, oh my God, like I'm just gonna look like an idiot. And so it was just one-on-one. I don't know how long that was.
Months.
A couple months maybe.
Yeah.
Sounds terrible, but
Yeah, I
no,
know.
it
I
was
can
great.
also say that the people who are going crazy in the gym like are not paying attention to anyone else. So if you're ever feeling like threatened or
Exactly.
intimidated by them,
Yes.
please don't, because
Yeah.
they're not paying attention. In fact, they probably might notice you walk in and be like, cool, there's another person here. And then they're going to go right back to
I always tell people that the gym is the hospital. Like, we're all sick. We're all working through something. So
That's
like,
great.
so
Way
like
to put it.
you coming, like usually like people are intimidated by me because one, I'm not smiling and I'm probably lifting something heavy because I'm in my own, like dealing with my own stuff. Right. But someone like you, if you said, like I've had this happen. I had a trainer actually ask me, he didn't know how to use the assault runner. He was like, how do you speed up and slow down on that thing? And he stopped me mid run. And I'm like, what? And he was like, he's like, oh no, I was just curious, I had cause like you're in your own thing. And so I was telling him, but I think like, especially like people who have a passion for it, we want nothing else but to help other people.
Absolutely.
So if you would have came to me like, hey, how do I use this machine? I would have stopped my workout, walked you over there. Okay, you good? How's that feel? Light, heavy, just right? All right, let's go heavy. We would have probably become fast friends. So I always encourage people not to be intimidated, which, I think is a big part of it because the people who are in there are going to help you.
Yeah.
Like that's gym culture.
If you're in the gym, you're one of us.
Yeah.
Like, period. I don't care what goal you're working towards something.
Yeah,
to
don't
better
believe the
yourself.
internet. Nobody's gonna like.
We're all doing that.
Very,
So we're all on the same
very,
playing field.
very few people are gonna like pick at you for being at the gym. And if they do, go get the biggest guy in the
That's
gym
the
and
wrong
tell
person.
him
That
and say,
person
"Hey,
is
that
not
guy's."
with
And I
us.
guarantee you, the big guy will go help you, right? But I'm curious, like with your whole support system, right? Karol, you feel very laid back, understanding. And I feel like we're fast friends. I feel like we kind of have the same mentality when it comes to training, and probably clients and training as well. And it could be because of our athletic background. What sport did you play?
I played softball in college.
Yeah, you did. Yep. That's it. That's what I was gonna guess softball, but I didn't want to say it. But I was gonna guess softball. Okay.
Like volleyball.
Right. I was like, no, you lied.
But
Well, I'm just
the 100. So I played softball through college, but basketball, soccer, all the way through like middle school, high school.
Okay. So I'm curious with your dynamic, right? Because you guys are completely opposites. Are there ever times when your approach is completely different and you bump heads and you're like, no, she needs tough. She needs to come see me. She needs tough love. She doesn't need a hug right now. She needs, right? Or is it always like, hey, that's your department. You handle it. Or this is my, how does that work? She's like, I'll take this one. Karen's like, I'll take this one, right?
I didn't even have a chance.
This is something we talk about often, is that we feed well off of one another, but we have to stay in very close communication with each other. So if I have a day with Rosie where like Rosie came to me in tears, like I'm always going to relay that to Lauren because she's also her coach. So like in the beginning, there was a lot of like, hey, Rosie's going through it today, so that Lauren knew how to approach it, and vice versa.
Lauren's like, I haven't even started yet. What are you talking about? She hasn't going through it.
I got 30 minutes.
Right? She's about to go through it.
She was always the more tough love, and kind of like with Lauren, you get that space where like you don't have to talk about what's going on and you can just work out, and you need that. And then with me, you get that space where like maybe the workout's a little less and like you are crying for most of the session. And sometimes
We had one very recently. Half the workout was just me crying and yelling, and then we got to it. So.
yeah.
Well, that's a metaphor for, I think, a lot of people. Like, it's kind of like a relationship, right? Like a romantic relationship is one relationship in your life, right? Mm-hmm. So you can't rely on that one person to fill every cup that you need filled, because you're a human being. You have needs, and you should meet your own needs. But you can't rely on that one person to be like meeting every single need, and you have to have friends that fill your cup in a different way, and your partner's a person. It's like when you have both coaches and you have all these needs, like it's okay to have those needs. Just have a support system that's more than one person.
Yes.
A health team, and you mentioned it earlier, like having like a network of professionals that you refer out to. It's like, I'm always advocating that with my clients. It's like, just rely on me for like all of the things, because I don't have enough expertise on all of the things. I need you to have a network of other professionals who can help you. And then doesn't it feel great to have a team of people, you know, like, so that's huge. Yeah.
And I think we started, and the goal was to teach you how to work out and to give you autonomy to be able to know your body, know how to move your body, be able to go to a gym if you wanted to. So that unlocked a lot of freedom you didn't know you had. And I think since I started with you first, that was kind of our main focus, is I had to teach you how to lift and how to work out and educate you in that realm. And then once you got that down, we start peeling back layers of things. But that's ultimately why you came to see me in the first place. You had some restrictions and you just wanted to learn how to work out. So that was my role when I first came in. And then we peel back some layers. Karol comes in, completely starts peeling back way more layers a lot faster than I did. But it was like, we just had to like have some catalyst to get you consistent and in the gym. And so that's kind of the dynamic. And there are some times where I'll ask, like, am I pushing too hard? Because I'll be the one to give you a challenge. I just challenged her to run a half marathon. And I did it with her, and a couple other people in our gym did it also. And
half marathon is no walk in the park.
No, it's long enough where you have to train for it, but not so long where it seems unattainable. And so I thought that was the perfect mileage for you. And we went through ups and downs with that. And there were times where I was like, did I give her a goal that was unattainable? I think she can do it. I know that she can do it.
For reference, I quit like every other week. So that's what she's talking about. Since December. We started the plan in December to do it, and we just did it this.
No, it was January. It was January 1.
Well, I signed up December 31st.
Okay, we gave ourselves 10 weeks.
Yeah,
the New Year's coming.
It was like every other week. I was like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And then they came to my house. And
We
they were
showed up at her house the week of the marathon
That
because
is
she
commitment.
said she wasn't going to do it.
Wow.
So we pulled up.
Love them.
But then we had
Yeah.
other members in our gym also that were encouraging you and keeping you on track and things like that. So I'm the one that's like, hey, Rosie, you're going to do a half marathon. I'm going to do it with you, and we're going to train, and you're going to battle these ups and downs. And then Karol, comes in and does her piece of the puzzle, and the end result is that you did it.
Yeah, we did it.
So here's my question for you, Lauren, is how do you manage that part of you? Like you said, like you were wondering if you gave her too much. And so I'm a very challenge. I believe your mindset matters, and you can do anything once you make up your mind. Again, that could be the athlete in us, because that's just how I believe. So if I see something, if I see Rosie and I say, hey, we're doing a marathon or a half marathon, I usually don't second guess that.
Right.
Because now I just have to convince her that she can do it. Because I already know
I know she can do it.
I already know that I've trained you well enough. So now it's just, let's click the mindset button, right? Because like you said, it's not unattainable for anybody. We can all do one right now. Like if we had to, if you were stranded 13 miles away from the gas station, you could get to the gas station. Like if you had to, right? Yeah. And so now it's just a matter of making up your mind. So how do you manage as a trainer? You too, Sav. I don't know. I don't think you're that as as I am, but
I really like the term.
Yeah, you see, I didn't have a word for it, but I just know I'm very
separate the two. I think
I'm very aggressive. Yeah, 100%. But
there's a time and place for let's pull back and
But what do you lead? But what do you lead with? I think that's what, and I lead with. I always say I'm not passive aggressive. I'm aggressive. So I lead with not scarier, but hey, this is what we're doing today, right? My kind of my trainer philosophy is, I am tough love with some humor. So we're gonna have some fun, but when it's go time, it's go time, right? And that's how I train. That's how I train myself. That's how I train my clients. So just how do you manage, to get back to the question, that part of it? Even doubting oh shoot, did I give her? Because now it's this could make or break her. If I gave her something that she can't physically do.
Yeah.
These past 6 months, a year, whatever has been in vain, because she's gonna go back to Karol and like, yo, see, told you, you know. and now she has to fix it. So how do you right?
I think it's just knowing your clients and giving them like small milestones along the way and seeing how they respond to it, and just knowing, like you said, it's just an intuition. I do a pretty good job of knowing like what people are capable of, at least that threshold. I never want to push them past something to where they cannot do it, and now I've just set them up to fail. And then we have, then I basically created, failure.
Situation.
Seriously something. Yeah. And so it really was just a gut feeling of like, I knew you were running. I knew you were running like 5-6 miles. So, okay, well, let's work. And exactly. Like, it's just knowing, and then it's like knowing how we've built her up with fitness and where she's at, and just knowing that she can do it. Okay. And I always tell my people, when they're like, oh, I want to go try this or do it. And I'm like, if you've trained with us long enough, you are physically able to do so. I'm very confident in that.
You spent that time.
Exactly. So like when people say, I don't know if I can do that, I'm like, don't insult me like that. Don't insult her like that. Like, we really have built a base to where you should have the physical capacity to do something that is maybe a gentle challenge for yourself. Now, I wasn't doing that day one, but 2 years into it, I'm like, hey, it's time. Let's do something. And a lot of it was just giving you a situation and putting you in a situation where it was something that you had to do for you. Only you could do it. You had to start and finish it. And force you into an opportunity where you could prove that to yourself. Because we have done so much of building you up and giving you things and PRs and new movements and all these things. And it was something where it was like giving you the opportunity to prove it to yourself, what we've been telling you since day one.
And you have to get there. You have to do the hard thing in order to prove that to yourself. Because you could talk about it all day, but like them pushing you to do that, I mean, if it was up to you, would you have like done it? If they had just disappeared off the face of the earth, would you have followed through with it?
I'm struggling right now. Like, I get yelled at a lot because I don't feel fit. Like, I don't feel like I'm fit. And
who yells at you?
Well, I hear about it a lot.
I love it.
No.
So who's yelling at you, Lord? Like, I don't know who is. Staring the hole. Who's yelling at you?
I think like so I'm actually going to have surgery in September to get like my extra skin removed, which is really exciting because I lost 100 pounds more than once, and when that happened 10 years ago, I didn't have the support system I have now. And so I gained it all back and then some. And part of that was like looking, you want to look fit, and it's like when you have lost that much weight, your skin only does so much. So it's like getting that done, I think, is going to be like the next step for me, because then I can go to the gym and like have abs and start working on abs that I can see and like, really like fine tuning my body.
I thought you were about to say you're going to go to the gym and take your shirt off. It's like, then I can go to the gym, I can take my shirt off. That's where I thought you were going. You was like, I can have abs.
Like different, like, how do you define fit? Like, if you're fit to do something.
Before you answer that, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back with your answer about how you define fit. I'm sorry, Terry's been doing
No, that's good.
Minutes, so that's where yes.
Let it play.
Yeah.
All right. So, Rosie, what is your definition of fit? I'm interested in all three of you, because I'm sure they're probably different. How you define fit, and then Karol, I'm curious. You can think on this of times when you embrace more of Lauren's approach to clients, or if you ever do, but don't answer yet. But just think about it. Go ahead.
I don't know if I should start with defining fitness because it's
You're the
you
perfect
should.
one.
Yeah, I think,
Okay, listen.
Like, how do you know I'm there? I've achieved my goal.
That's what I'm
point?
trying to figure out, and it's my own toxic brain a little bit, because like I was like, I'm not going to be able to run this race as fast as I want to run it, and I'm very competitive with myself.
A lot of people never do that though. Most people
I
never
know.
run a half
and
marathon.
Again, it was just kind of a thing where it was kind of like, I'm just going to go and my friends are there. And it was like, once you start, you can't really, it's like you're just doing it. And so it was like, at one point, like, I had some serious feet problems, and I had 3 miles left, and was like holding back tears. I was in so much pain, and at one point I was like, "Okay, Rosie, well, you can only get out of the park one way." I was like, "So you just got to keep going to the car, and like you're gonna get out." And that was
Can't
fine.
go back. Yeah, it's more mileage.
And they were like all there waiting for me, and it was this beautiful moment, and they like ran the little bit with me to the end, and it was just like it was really awesome. But I also internalized it negatively, like, oh, see, like everybody finished before you. So it's like I'm still working on all of that, like voice in my head. Like if I can't say what's fit.
Nothing was good enough for you. Like even running the half marathon, you're like,
yeah,
oh, well,
like-
here's
like-
another reason that's not good enough,
Yeah,
you know?
and
But
so-
like, that's why I brought up like the definition of fit, because if you really think about it, what does that even mean? If you say that you are fit to do something, like I'm fit to pick up this piece of paper, you know, like, okay, cool. That's a terrible example, but I'm fit to run a half marathon. You did it. So how are you not fit to do it?
Exactly.
You are fit to attend the gym.
Yeah.
You are fit enough to get out of your car and get in your car, go to the gym, get out, go open the door, go in, lift some weights. You're fit. You're fit to complete a task. You know, being healthy is different than being fit. And maybe I don't always feel healthy. You know, if I've had too much caffeine, I'm like, God, we are not healthy today. We need some sleep and we need to stop drinking so many cups of coffee in the morning. That's not healthy.
I've never thought that.
But I'm fit to, you know, go rip a car in half with my bare hands. I'm fit to do that because I got caffeine running through my body. And these are really bad examples, but I'm trying to make the point that you were fit enough to do it because you made it through. So why is that not good enough? You know, it's like, who cares what other people are doing? Everybody else, like I said, you walk into the gym and somebody's, you know, going crazy over there doing crazy amounts of stuff. And you're just like, whoa, hello, like that guy's going at it, you know, like that could never be me. And it's like, that guy's probably, I don't want to get in his way. It's like, no one is looking at you like, you know, if anything, people are like, all right, good for you. You ran a marathon, you know, like.
Well, that's what I'd say to anybody else. It's like,
exactly.
You know,
We treat ourselves so badly sometimes when it's like, you worked so hard to be there. Like if anybody is fit to be there, it's you, you know?
Amen.
There's a popular, like sound on Instagram. I don't know if you know who Ice-T is, but okay, Ice-T, and he's saying, you know, life is like a gym. If you look to your left, there's somebody worse than you. If you look to your right, there's somebody that's better than you. So you can only be where you are, right? And I think that's all of us, right? I did, right? Because if you ever seen Sav, she can literally like put her legs behind. Like her mobility is very impressive. I could never do that. You know what I mean? Well, I'm not gonna say ever, but I don't focus on it. So if you watch her and you say, "Hey, bet you can't do that," I say, "You bet you're right. I bet you're right. I can't." But you know, like how you measure where you are, or you can only measure where you are, right? Like how you measure that is up to you, and you can say, "Okay, now here is where I'm going. Here's my goal." So we're all chasing a rabbit. We're all chasing something that we'll never catch, right? This is a never ending.
Maybe consider like, oh, that guy's so fit. Or
yeah, he's chasing something. Lauren's chasing something.
Karol,
we're all chasing something that we'll never. Because when we get there, it's like, okay, well, I got that, so now I got to go get whatever that next thing is.
I have to do the same thing that, you know, like Karol talks about with people, and like watching my own behavior. Like I could have a 6-pack. I could have, you know, everything I want, you know, as far as fitness goes. I could have friends, family, you know, a happy life, but I will still sometimes get in my head like, oh, that's not enough. You're not enough. And that's something we all constantly have to work on, you know, but some people like don't ever work on that, and they're like, they never feel like they're enough. So they're constantly chasing that next thing and they never feel good enough. But it's like, everybody's good enough where they're at, you know, as long as you're trying to like help yourself and, you know, show up in the world as like a positive, you know, a human. I don't want to say positive because positive can be not always, you know, but I don't know.
Well, it's like showing up for yourself also. I think it's consistency. Fitness is such a like wide spectrum. Like you said, like you're just you can always be chasing something, but it's just having the ability to do the things that you like to do. So we'll get people that they continue to get restrictions and they have to keep pulling things out of their life. They have to keep taking things away. That's when you're kind of on that line of needing to find a way that fitness can help bring those things back into your life. So fitness is a lot of things, And a lot of people are fit just in different ways. And so it's just consistently showing up for yourself and being able to do the things you want to do.
That's a good point you made about sacrifice too, because there are things that you do sacrifice, but like some people are like, oh, I don't want to give up like coffee, or I don't want to, coffee's a bad one, but alcohol. Alcohol is a big one, like people are like, well, I don't want to give up alcohol. That's my social life, like I don't, I'm not going to do that. And it's like, okay, is it really your social life? Do you have to have alcohol to be social? And then when you evaluate that, you're like, okay, maybe I can sacrifice alcohol, but am I sacrificing like you were talking about my social life, going out with friends because I'm like not letting myself eat food. That's a different kind of sacrifice that we need to kind of like pull back and be like, okay, what's going on with that? Yes,
we have to eat, so
exactly. And food is a social part of life. That is an aspect of food, but alcohol is literally jet fuel, and I'm not saying like don't ever consume alcohol. I have a beer every once in a while. Like I consume alcohol, but if it's something that I'm letting be in the way of my health, and it's like I'm using that as like I can't sacrifice that, then, but you get what I'm saying. It's like you shouldn't have to sacrifice like things that make you happy, truly, in order to be fit.
I think Karol said it best earlier. There's a time and a place for everything. Sometimes you do have to sacrifice things that make you happy in order for the greater good. And so if it's something that's going to make you better in the long run, then that's what a sacrifice is. Yeah. It's literally something that makes you happy. It's like, I got to give, because if it's something that you don't care about, then you can like, yeah, I can give that up all day. I don't drink beer, so I'll give up beer. Right. But we have to get to our Stretch Your Intellect, brought to you by Connection Karol. And so these are just random facts, not a debate. It's just something that our producer Terry found on ChatGPT and said, hey guys, we want you to talk about this, okay? Calling
him out.
First of all, I don't know what you guys will say, but as the only black person here, why is mine about watermelons? But we'll talk about that off camera, Terry.
I personally love watermelon. Okay?
All right. So mine says, again, guys, this is a random fact. It's not a debate. This is an actual fact. Watermelon, a quintessential summer fruit, is delicious and incredible. This sounds very... You read this. No, I'm just saying. It's incredibly hydrating, consisting of 92% water. It's believed to have originated in Africa and was cultivated in ancient Egypt as early as the second millennium BCE. What is BCE? Okay. Yeah. What's the E for?
I forgot what BC actually stands for.
Before Christ.
Well, that's what I thought, but then
so I said, what's the E for?
It's like a Latin term.
Is it? Oh, okay. Well, I don't speak Latin. Spanish, though, I got you. No.
Before Christ exited the building.
Right. Before Christ exit.
You like that? Okay.
Sure. Let's roll with that one. Before Christ exit, yeah.
In some parts of the world, such as northern Scandinavia, from Africa.
You see that? This feels wrong. This feels wrong, Terry. We'll wait until the last one and see what that one says.
Well, I am that white. Okay. Such as northern Scandinavia, summer brings the midnight sun, where the sun remains visible for 24 hours a day during specific periods, leading to unique sleep patterns and cultural traditions. Well, that sounds awesome. Just continuous sunlight. Yeah. Sign me up. Actually, that will really mess up your sleep.
I love
sleeping. Hardcore. Yeah, you have to have darkness.
All right, Lauren, I'm going to make you read this one just because I know that you don't want to. So...
You were getting those vibes?
Yeah, you're like, you know what?
I was that kid in class that just did not want to read out loud.
Yeah.
So cool, triggering. We all do things that we, don't want to do. Okay, summer is the peak season for ice cream consumption in the United States, with July being recognized as National Ice Cream Month. According to the International Dairy Foods Association, Americans consume about 23 gallons of ice cream per person per year, with vanilla being the most popular flavor. Also funny, I'm lactose intolerant.
So am I.
Really?
Yeah, very much so. And
so
to our earlier point, did you know that majority of African Americans are? It's like 85%.
Really?
Yeah, we don't do well with dairy.
Most
Yeah.
people don't do well with dairy.
Talk to
I
me.
do.
I agree, but yeah.
Me and dairy go way back.
Me and Dairy go way back. Dairy would set me way back. Hey, Terry, I got to go. You guys can finish, but I got to get out of here. So we always like to leave our guests with the last word. So, Rosie, we're going to have you close us out with just one thing that you want to leave our listeners with. Yeah, I have so many more questions for you, but we talked a little bit too much on the other things, but just one thing that you want to leave our listeners with. It doesn't have to be fitness related. It can be whatever you decide you want it to be.
Okay. I think I would just say that, like, you absolutely can do anything you put your mind to. And, like, mental health is so important. And weight loss and health is very important, but the mental health is part of your health, all of it. And you have to eat to lose weight. You have to eat food to lose weight. You have to. That's really important.
Boom.
Knowledge is power. Like, there's so much disinformation about fitness and health on the internet. Go find a person who actually studied it and knows the truth about these things, because I thought I knew so much, and I didn't know anything until I met professionals who were like, hey, you're not eating enough food. Like, you need to rest. Like, you should be taking things for your muscles so that you're not sore. And then it opened this, like, entire universe to me. I love deadlifting and, like, all these things.
Yeah, let's go.
Can I pause you for a second?
Yeah.
Because I want to actually reword this. I know we're running long, but I want to reword this question because I want to make it personal.
Okay.
And I want Rosie to I want Rosie today. What would you tell 302-pound Rosie right now?
Oh my God.
Like, if you can go back and talk to her on day one before you text Lauren
I am gonna cry.
to now, what would you tell her now?
I would tell her that she has everything she needs inside of herself to achieve this goal, and that she is worthy of happiness and health and friends and love, and that she's not wrong for doing the things she's doing because she wants to be successful. But stop being afraid. Stop living in fear, like, and find, like, love and find light, because nothing is going to come until you do. Because everything's so dark. When everything's so dark and heavy and you just want to disappear and you're just, I felt like I was just, like, waiting around until I died. Like, it was just you know what I mean? It was just, I had no plans for my future, and it's just incredible to me. Like, I've gotten a second chance at life, and, like, I'm not afraid of going back anymore. I've gotten rid of, I used to keep, like, 6 sizes of clothes. 6 sizes of clothes, because that's how much I gain weight all the time. And I've gotten rid of everything. Like, I finally, like, Karol was like, we're done, we're getting rid of this. And, like, I did, and that was incredibly freeing. So I digress, but yes, I'd be like, girl, you can do it. Like, just stop.
Don't have the shame, don't let the shame hold you back from asking for help.
Yeah.
I mean, because
people want to help you. Like,
do deserve it.
People want to help.
You matter.
You do.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And you don't know anybody's journey. You don't know any slim, healthy person's journey. You just don't. Like, stop judging everybody who's smaller than you.
And you heard the parallels in our,
Yes.
and I was severely underweight.
Yes.
And we were, like, literally had the same mindset around food. Yep. And it's toxic for anybody. And we both had to mentally get out of that place and ask for help and get out of our shame, get out of our need to, like, control, like, who sees what, It
takes time, but it's okay. And the journey just constantly changes.
And that just shows how united people are, humanity really is connected in that way. And I know there are people out there that are going through that, and you and sharing this story is incredibly powerful. So thank you so much for being here today to share. I'm, like, over the moon for you. I can't wait to see what you do with this newfound person that you are. And you guys are amazing, and thank you for
come and see them. Like, seriously, come
absolutely
see anybody in this room at this table. Like, everybody is
Let us know where can we talked about All Strength being in Cool Springs, like social media handles, websites. Like, what do you got? Where can people find you?
We're on socials at All Strength Nashville. We are located off of Seaboard Lane. We're right behind Costco. Anyone can DM us on Instagram. And
be careful. She's ready. Cool. Either way, I said what I said, right?
Yeah, if you want me to psychoanalyze you, then you'll be in our DMs.
There you go. There you go.
Awesome.
And if you want Lauren to put you through a horrendous workout
Or fix
Come
you
on
if you're broken.
Saturdays.
There you go. Thank you guys again for stopping in for this great conversation. I am the Jarrell Webb. This is
I am the Sav.
I love it, the Sav, and this is the Game Day Men's Health Studio. And we'll see you guys next time you press play.
Come try Burn Boot Camp East Nashville for 7 days free. We offer unlimited 45-minute trainer-led workouts that are a mix of strength, cardio, and conditioning. You'll never do the same workout twice. We have complimentary child watch so busy families can get their workouts in. We can also provide complimentary one-on-one meetings with the trainer to set and reach your goals, which includes body analysis, nutritional guidance, and much more. Burn Boot Camp East Nash is the most supportive community you will ever find. We want to help you reach your goals. We never charge late fees or cancellation fees. Give us a try for free today.